This is what I mean with that. So it's a liquid leave-in conditioner that is gonna help me to hydrate the curls and move my fingers through it. When we're talking about cutting curly hair, you're gonna need 3 tools. Your fingers, your hands are gonna be your comb, your pair of shears, and clips. That's it. These alligator clips are my favorite. They are from Color Track. They have them always extra large and regular sizes. I feel that because they have this bending top, allow me to section the curls without creating any mark on the curls or get them moved differently when I'm cutting. So I took the picture, I spray a little bit, and now I'm gonna start my sectioning. Normally, I try to find the top of the head, right? That's when all the volume is gonna build. And everybody is familiar with this, so if you are having a hard time finding the top of the head, I would go with my shears, I will just let it set there, and when they don't move, that means that is the top of the head. I'm gonna go right on top of my client's ears. It's not gonna be on the front, it's not gonna be on the back, it's gonna be just right on top, and you will be able to see that in a minute. Why I like to do that? Because I'm gonna cut the top, then I'm gonna create my guide. I will follow cutting the front, and then I will continue with the back. Why do I like to section this way? My guide is gonna be a halo, and I'm gonna explain why it's important for me this halo when I do a round cut. I think the halo will allow me to direct all my layers and volume on the top of the head. Everybody see that? Now I'm gonna create a vertical line section that it only is gonna be 1 inch. Not thicker than that, not thinner than that. It's more or less 1 inch. How that feel? And that inch section is gonna land on top of the ear, basically. Do you see that? Let me just wrap so you can see, just right on top of the ear. That's how the section that I'm gonna start with. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And basically what I'm creating is a halo that is gonna go from ear to ear. And that halo will help me to start my guide for the entire haircut. Literally, the entire haircut is gonna be based on this halo. I'm gonna clip the back so you guys can see my halo. Everybody see that? Start from the top of the head, and you can see the other side of the halo. Do you see that? 1 inch from ear to ear, and basically that's gonna be my guide. Now, if you notice, I'm not folding, I'm not twisting the head, I'm not going crazy with my section. And you know what? Because you don't want to change the curl pattern. You don't want to create those stringing curls in some areas, and then when you look at the shape, you won't be able to tell what is going on because some areas are going to be straighter than the other ones. When we talk about curly hair, guys, you have to be more open-minded. You have to look at shapes more than anything, especially when you are trying to do a round, layering, a lot of volume type of haircut. I don't have nothing against every haircut that they're trying to do in a different way, but in my case, I don't like to change how the curls move because I want to see a stability and balance. No matter what, curly hair is going to tend to look and feel unbalanced when you start working on it. You know what? Because one set of head can have different curl type. That's one thing that you always gonna notice. Another thing that you always gonna notice, guys, hydration is gonna be different through the whole head. Also porosity. You're gonna notice that some area of the hair can have tighter curls and they will be harder to absorb hydration, so it's gonna move different. Some area you have to leave it shorter, some areas you have to leave it longer. Another big problem that I notice when I come into looking at different texture in one head. Most of the people that have curly hair tends to have looser curls on the bottom. So if you're trying to even it up the cut and cut the top layer the same like you do the bottom, it's not gonna work. Because when you wet the hair and you restyle the hair, those curls down there are always gonna be looser, right? So we don't do that. We're gonna cut them shorter so the balance happen. Remember, we're always gonna look at balance, and that's all we're talking today. Perfect. So we have the halo, and that's how we're gonna start our haircut. Always, I keep my clips close to me because more clips you have, better for you to manage the curls. Remember, it can be overwhelming. It can be a lot of hair in front of you, and you're gonna be like, oh, don't. Just control the hair with the clips, because remember, the hair is not wet. It's gonna move with a lot of personality, and that's how curly hair move. I'm gonna go on the top, and I'm basically gonna pick 2-inch section on the top of the hair. I'm gonna use my fingers as a comb, and I'm basically, with no tension, I'm gonna go through my curls and release them in order for me to see and get all the ends on the same place. So now, this is gonna determine the whole haircut. What I say, this is your guide, I really mean it. From here, everything is gonna connect, guys, from this halo that I create here. Now, most of the clients that have curly hair, they want the volume and that full bands to go forward. So I tend to low and go a little shorter on this first section so I can build those connections with the layers that goes to the bands. Now I'm gonna stick my fingers in, no tension, and I'm gonna just basically cut. That's it, no tension. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna divide it in half, and I'm gonna move to one side of my halo, and I'm gonna grab, once again, another inch section. I'm using my finger as a comb, I'm going through, I'm combing with my fingers. I'm gonna stick my fingers in, everybody see that? I'm gonna walk away, and you're just gonna basically cut. That's it. You see there is no tension, I'm not pulling straight. I'm just going, following the head shape, because we are looking for a round shape today. So basically, I'm going around, following the head shape when I'm cutting. I'm gonna divide this in half. Do you see how the hair wanna stick out? This is your time where you're gonna control your section with the clip. I'm gonna clip away so I can control what I'm doing. I'm gonna continue, following my section, combing through with my fingers. I'm gonna use my finger as a comb. I'm gonna stick in. I'm gonna relax, my elbow, my shoulder, and I'm gonna be just letting go the shape. Everybody see that? I'm gonna divide it in half. What else? I'm gonna keep using my clip to help control those curls. And now, guys, another issue that we always have with curly hair. They want volume, they want round, they want big, but they like, can you please keep the bands? Can you please keep that length? I don't want it to be too short, right? So now what I'm gonna do, as soon as I pass and I go past the curve of the head, and on the back, I'm gonna show you how I do it. After I pass the occipital bone, I'm gonna over direct to 90. Because that's what it's gonna do. I'm gonna be able to cut those ends, but at the same time, when that drops, she's still gonna see her length. I'm not gonna go too short. And what I normally do, I free hands and I adjust how the shape looks like. Everybody see that? So I wanna make sure that all the curls are going in one direction that I want. And voila. And now I'm gonna let drop the rest. And this is gonna be my halo. that is gonna give that round shape that everybody's looking for, or at least the one we are learning today. How is everybody doing? So far good? Give me some hearts, give me some comments so I know you're learning, I know you're loving this, and let's keep watching. Here we go. So now we're gonna cut the left side. Good. I'm glad you guys watching, I'm glad you guys learning, listening right. Once again, I'm picking from my guide and I'm going now to the left. I'm gonna use my finger as a comb and I'm gonna just relax and cut. Divide it in half. Another inch section. I'm gonna go a little faster now, guys, because this is just a movement that I have a rhythm on my hands for the longest time. I'm like, I got this, I got this. Oh, thank you, Martin, Danielle, Teresa. Thank you guys for the love and support. Here it is. We divide it in half. We're gonna clip what I cut away. And now we're gonna talk about, we just go through the round part of the head. And now what we do, guys, we over direct up. I'm gonna still use my fingers. You see that? That's why it's important the clients come to you with no product, clean hair, the curls exactly how they were born. I don't want any alteration, I don't want anything, because I wanna make sure that I can go with my fingers and do my job. If I'm dealing with gels and heavy products, I won't be able to do the movement. Is that right? What is the head is really naughty? That is a good question. You know why? Because they have to come with clean hair. Clean hair, there is not gonna be knots, there is not gonna be curls that are all over the place. That's why it's important on your consultation that you explain to them clean hair only. Okay, guys, so let me step away so you guys can see that shape. But basically, I look, I'm going, and I just make sure that everything just go with the shape that I'm looking for. How that look? Perfect. So now what I'm doing, I'm trying to match both sides, and I want to make sure they're even. And this is now, normally I do that a lot. I try to step away when I'm doing my shapes and I look from different angles, because I'm telling you, this halo is gonna determine the whole haircut. Has to be perfect, good enough. Voila, so I think it's good enough. I think I like it, I think it's perfect. So now, when I cut my halo, I can either start on the back or on the front. I personally like to start cutting the front. Why? Because the clients can see how the shape is looking. That makes sense? So, especially new clients, they don't have to be wondering, oh my God, is she good? Is she gonna do this good? They instantly can tell. I always start on the right and I let drop the left or vice versa, and they can totally see, oh my God, looks much better. I can see a lot of volume already. And you like, good. So they relax and you go to the back and you start doing your magic. That makes sense? Good. So now, when I'm cutting my sides, guys, I like to be on the opposite side of my cutting section, right? So let's do the right side of the head. That means I'm gonna step on the opposite side. And now, our guide is gonna continue be our halo. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna step in here so I can see how am I gonna do the right side. And this is literally the way I do it at the salon. I'm basically using the mirror as my reference when I do shapes, because I can see better, you know? So once again, I'm gonna turn the head a little bit that way so you can see. I'm gonna go with a straight line, vertical. And remember, we're working with the guide here. And what else we're doing? We're using clips to not get overwhelmed on this cutting technique on curly hair that is big and is dry. Okay, so here's the guide, and we're gonna cut the front. We're doing the same thing we did with the halo, guys. We're gonna get 1 inch using the fingers. As my comb, I'm gonna stick them in, and I'm gonna look in the mirror. I'm gonna make sure that my shape is perfect, and voila, I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna grab another inch. You can, as soon as you get better, I get somewhere around 1 inch, but normally I can go, depends the density of the curls, I can go 2-3 inches at a time because I do this all day, every day. I'm not kidding. So I'm the biggest believer that you will only get better at what you do after you repeated it constantly. Repetition is gonna get that movement on your body. So I encourage you to go 1 inch, to go slow, so you can get this happening. They're trying to get a lot of hair at once and get confused on what you're doing or overwhelmed. We keep using my fingers as a comb. I'm gonna stick, no tension, and I'm gonna follow my guy. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use another clip and I'm gonna put this section away. You know why? Because I don't need it. I'm not guiding myself from the section that I just cut. I continue guiding myself through my halo that is in here. So I'm gonna clip away so I can cut better. I know you guys see me using the shears to section the hair, but you can basically use your clips like a normal human. I might not be that normal sometimes. So I like to use my shears. Let me see, let me make sure. I know that you might see, oh my God, but her lines are not perfectly straight. They will never be. We're talking about curly hair. Curly hair has a lot of personality. It moves differently. The curls are forming and coming out of the scalp with a movement. Sometimes if you're trying to go straight, you're interrupting that curl pattern. That makes sense. So trying to be as steady as possible, as straight as possible, but don't get too worried about being meticulous straight, because that's not how curly hair is. Good? Sounds good. So what are we doing? We're finding the guy again, right? The guy is here. 1 inch. I separate what I'm not cutting. I'm gonna use my finger. And now, because I'm going, guys, around, I'm not gonna over direct my section to the previous. I'm just gonna go straight out of the head when I'm cutting. Using my fingers as a comb, I'm gonna look on the mirror. I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing it right. I'm gonna step away, and what I'm doing, I'm gonna cut. Perfect. I'm gonna divide it in half. I'm gonna keep going. Any questions so far? So far, so good. And you guys are getting this? I bet you are. I'm super animated, so I get you. You are getting this, because if no, I would dance around and make it happen somehow. That's the Cuban spice of me. Any questions? Any questions while I continue my cutting? Because this is gonna be a lot of repetition, right? Basically, no tension. Here we go. And now what do we do? We're gonna basically clip this away because we don't need it. And now, guys, once again, what I've been saying about the curve of the head, right? So this is gonna be the last section, because this is the section that is gonna already be that curve of the head. So this is the only section that we're gonna do this way, because the last one, we're gonna direct it up. Thank you, very easy to follow. Thank you. I'm sweating right here, no, just kidding. Okay, finding the guy. Here it is. And don't go nowhere. Wait until I drop this right side. You're gonna be like, oh my God, it looks so good. What we do, we divide it in half. And now the head, of course, is less wider, so my sections are gonna be bigger. And I'm still going outside the head when I'm cutting. No tension, voila. That's it, I'm gonna clip away. And now, what are we gonna do after we pass that curved side of the head? We're gonna over direct everything to 90, everything up. So she still get that length and that volume on top. Because if you cut curly hair too short, ooh, you're gonna get in trouble. They're gonna hate it. They're not gonna come back to you. So always over direct those areas on the bottom so they still see that length. Do you like that tip? Okay. I like your commentary. You are fun to listen. Oh, thank you. I used to be a performer. So I used to work in shows like Cirque du Soleil and all of that. So I'm extremely animated. Another reason why I'm extremely animated, because when I moved to America, guys, straight from Cuba, I didn't speak English. So I used to use my hands and my eyes to express myself a lot. And I don't know, I still do it when I teach, I guess. A little bit of my artistic side from when I was a dancer and performer, and a little bit of trying to make my point across because the language bear it. Okie dokie, so here it is. So instead of going this way, where are we gonna go? All the way up. Putting your fingers in, no tension. And that's it, divide it in half, doing the same. And here the guy, all the way up, and voila, we got this. Now I'm gonna clip away, and we're gonna do the last one. And I feel the last one, I can just do it as a one whole section. Because remember, the hair is getting smaller right there. You are super at this. I love watching you and understanding what you are doing, but need to know, what do you do with a white, ooh, wait, the comment is longer. With the white girl cutting hair, if you want mine, let me know, please. Okay. What did I do with a white hair cutting hair? Confidence. I think I get what you're saying. I know there is that aspect of cutting curly hair or texture hair, right? The clients might not feel comfortable doing it because you are not the same color skin, right? I don't believe in that. If you have the skill set and you know what you're doing, I'm telling you, you're gonna make a killer and they're gonna feel comfortable enough. And I'm telling you this because I have my previous assistant, she moved to Idaho. She got there and she was married with this guy. He got stationed there. He's in the military, and she was so sad. She was like, Lex, I don't know what to do. Like, how am I gonna do all the things that I learned in this city? Like, I just don't think that it's gonna be possible. Literally, she's the only white girl on the whole city doing curly hair. So she built such a strong clientele, because when you have the skills, this is it. Okay, guys, so look at this. Did everybody see the shape? And now, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go around and clean up. You can either do the clean up and the detail now or after. I like to see and I like to do all the cleanup as I go, so I know what is missing, I know what I want and how I want it to look. And of course, I want her to look in the mirror and see the shape that we are creating already. Forget about this front because we're gonna do bands, right? So forget about it. We're not touching this yet. Just looking at how the hair goes volume. You didn't touch too much of the length. And there is that round looking cut already. What about that? What do you think? Right? It looks good, huh? Fabulous. Love it. Thank you, guys. So now, what are we doing? Anybody knows what we're doing next? We're gonna cut the left side. And if we cut the left side, you're gonna go what? Opposite. So because we are here, and I want you guys to see what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn my mannequin head around so I can cut the left side with you guys. Keep watching what I'm doing. I'm sorry, I meant to say my granddaughter has blonde hair, but she's a little, okay, I know what you mean, okay. But you know what, what you can do is go ahead and individually DM me on my Instagram. I share my Instagram here so you can specifically explain to me what is going on. It's hard, guys, to advise something without seeing the hair, without touching the hair. You have to understand that when clients or family members need for help, you have to literally ask them to come. They have to see. You know, they have to see what you're doing. And you have to show and teach them in person. Tengo 3 tipos de rizo. ¿Cuál recorte me recomiendas? Mira, todas las personas que tienen cabello rizado tienen muchos diferentes tipos de rizo. Lo que hay que hacer es ir con un especialista para que balancee esos rizos. Balancear los rizos significa las áreas donde tus rizos están más sueltecitos tienen que ser cortadas más cortas. Y las que están más apretaditas, dejarla más larga. So she was asking, guys, in Spanish, how do you approach a haircut in somebody that has different curl type in one head? And that was exactly what I was saying. It's extremely common that you see different texture in one only head. So normally what I recommend, when I see the areas of the head where the texture is looser, I try to go shorter. Another thing that I do, I try to leave longer the area that is tighter. So you create a balance between both curl type. Another thing that you can do, when you finish the style, you can stretch the curls a little bit with the dryer on the areas where the curls are tighter. So they can match the curls that are looser. Nobody around here knows how to cut curly hair. They do a run. Girl, I get it. I became a hairstylist because nobody could do my hair. When I went to beauty school like 14 years ago, that's what I did because I was tired to walk around, and I know I feel it. That's why I teach a lot everywhere, guys. I have done so many classes already, and we are in what? In March? So education is the key to make this industry better. Take Education is the best. There is amazing curly hair, natural texture educators up there. Myself with Forever Curls Education, I teach a lot. There was a year that I went to 12 different cities on 2019, right before COVID. I went to that many cities. This city I'm gonna be teaching on 4 cities only: New York, Atlanta, Houston, Texas, and I'm going to Miami next month. If you are on those cities, please get to my education. It's a 2-day education where I share cutting, 3 different haircuts, where I share my blonding technique and a styling technique. And we keep going, guys, with the same thing. If you guys are wondering, I'm using from Pivot Point Amber. This is the mannequin head that I use, and I've been using it for all my education for the longest time. It's been 3 years that I go to teach with Pivot Point mannequin heads when I do my hands-on education. And it's amazing quality. If you guys want to try the new texture mannequin head, they came out with so many good new different mannequin head with looser curls, longer, so you can practice. I'm telling you, cutting, color, bleaching, anything, styling. It's important for you to practice, guys. You will never gonna get good at something if you don't repeat it over and over again. And I know that I'm saying this forever, but it's the truth. So we're talking about, remember, we passed the curve of the head, and now we're gonna bring everything back so we keep the length, correct? We all with me? I know you are. Using my fingers, going quick. I hold, and I'm gonna make sure that everything is perfectly cut. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop, and I'm gonna make sure. So what do you guys think about this? I mean, it's round already. Do you see this? It's already round. It's already sticking beautifully. Look at this. So everybody can see there is couple curls right here that are a little longer. What do, guys? We personalize. You basically walk around your client and personalize, trying to see what should go and just personalize and do it. But this is it. This is the round cut from side of the head. And now we're gonna go ahead and do the back. So what I'm doing, guys, now, I'm letting her see how the shape is looking already. That makes sense? So if I start on the back, she's gonna still wondering. She's gonna feel that halo that is my guy, and she's gonna be like, oh, okay, I don't know what she's doing. So cutting the first part of the haircut being the front is so helpful. Very nice. I love this so much. Looks cool. Thank you so much, guys. Oh my God, so beautiful and so easy, right? This is such an easy haircut. I'm all about simplicity when I do my education. I like to be simple. I like to make my point across, and I want people to get it right away. You know, I want to make it easier for everybody. Do you section curly hair on a human using the? Yes, I do. Yes, if I section curly hair using the shears, I do. I know it might be a little scary, but like I say, practice. I don't do it rough. I just go easily. Just section the hair, because remember, with curly hair, you're not looking for that perfect sectioning. I usually love the bands as they are, right? Of course, it's a really good haircut. It's a round shape. I just want to teach you guys bands, how I approach them, but of course you can leave it like this and it's going to look amazing. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to cut the right side of the head and that's it. And I'm going to go and jump on bands and answering questions, not asking. I can ask you questions too, right? I love asking questions. So, okay. So another thing that you can do asking about section, I separate the curls also with my fingers. And you can tell. You can get a clean sectioning as well. You can also use the clips. And I'm gonna go vertical all the way, center of the head, all the way to the nape. And voila, this is the right side, and I'm gonna clip away the left. And I'm gonna now what, guys? I'm gonna step on the opposite side to cut the right. Now, what am I gonna do cutting this back? Finding my guide, finding my halo. Once again, let's find the halo. And that is going to guide us to cut the back. You don't have to release the halo. You can just keep it so you can see what is going on. Okie dokie. So now I'm going to clip away the front so you guys can see the halo. That is my guy. And now I'm going to go just around to the back. Love your approach, your shaping curly hair. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yes. And thank you so much, Her Brain. I think that this is amazing, guys. There is so much education for free. There is so much that this industry do for us. So there is no question that somebody shouldn't feel comfortable about doing these things. You guys should be open to let anybody sit on your hair. Doesn't matter the color of the skin, the hair type, how they look like. I don't care. Just be open for everybody. We shouldn't say no anymore. No, I don't know how to do that. I don't like to do that. Today's 2021, after so much education up there, I don't like to say no. Of course, it's good to basically have your niche, the type of clientele you want to do, but guys, being diverse is going to make you a lot of money. You know, this is kind of like a specialty. When you learn how to cut texture hair, you become somebody special. I'm telling you. People fly from East Coast all the way to the West Coast to get a haircut and color with me. Why? They should come to you if you're already there. Let's be open to learn so people don't have to kind of like see that this is impossible to get a good haircut on a natural state. Right? When I say natural state, because curly girls get mad that they go to a salon and people straighten their hair before they cut it. They're like, no, I don't want that. Okay, guys. Here's the guy once again. Everybody see the guy? Now, look at this. This is a little bigger than 1 inch. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I like sometimes to go thicker. Why? Because I do this every single day a lot. I don't know if you noticed what I just did. I get close to the scalp and I separate the curls. My finger close to the scalp, separate the curls. That's another way when you feel the hair is really dense and the curls are too attached to each other, you can do it this version. Fingers in and separate the curls. And then you can go with your fingers and comb through. Now I'm gonna step away so you guys can see it, right? So I'm gonna stick my fingers in, no tension, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna round. And we're gonna meet, this is the guide. Everybody saw the guide there? Perfect, right? We follow the guide. Look at this, how beautiful. It's gonna go round. So now I'm gonna divide it in half. And what? I'm gonna clip away what I just cut and I'm gonna continue. Another way, fingers in, separate. Fingers in, separate. Fingers in, separate. Make sure that it's perfect. Now I comb with my fingers and voila. I'm gonna move faster, guys. Here it is. And now, this was the last section, right? This is the occipital bone. This is where it curves. And now we're gonna go up. So they feel that they still can keep the length without going too short. So look at this. I'm gonna go up, no tension. And I'm gonna drop. So when you drop, you're able to see it. It's still the shape. Just clean up the little ends. Because that down here, I didn't cut. So let's drop. Do you see that? Everybody see the round shape happening? Show me some heart if you're seeing the round shape happening right now. If you feel that we are creating a round, beautiful shape for this curly girl. Some hearts right now. I want some hearts. I want some hearts. Do you see it? Do you think it's easy? Do you think it's possible, right? It is possible. It is easy, and we all can do it, right? You guys have two hands, like me. We all can cut curly hair after today. Deal. Thumbs up if it's deal. Hearts, if you agree. Hearts. Yes, thank you. Now what are we gonna do, guys? We're gonna push away what we just cut. So we are what? Organized, and we don't get overwhelmed. Okay, just keep away. Just like that, and we're gonna continue follow the halo because that's the guy, once again. That's the only guy we have. That's the only guy we have and we care. Our beautiful halo that we create at the beginning of the class. We're gonna clip away what we're not cutting, and now we're gonna focus on finding the guy, right? Everybody see the guy? It's the guide, and we're just gonna grab the section. What do? We use the fingers to separate the curls, right? And now we're gonna use the fingers to brush the curls to make sure that we are finding the guy. You see that? So let's cut. Let's divide. Let's find the next section. I separate. Will this haircut change for clients that have collarbone length or shoulder or longer? Yes, totally. This is basically, guys, in 1 hour, me with you guys over here, right? This haircut has so many variations. In an hour, I cannot give you everything because it's impossible. So I'm giving you basically a one-on-one basic of my hair cutting techniques. But of course, has so many variations depending what clients want, what you are looking for, density, how the hair move, bone structure, everything. But of course, you have to come to my class in order to learn all of that because it's impossible in one day to cover in 1 hour all that amazing information. Look at this, right? So I'm still looking for that shape, and I'm gonna literally open the other section so you guys can see. Now what I do, I'm trying to look for detailing. So now detailing work is the best. Like I say, you can detail now, you can detail later. But in my case now, I want you to guys see perfection and how effective the technique can be just in one simple cutting. Everybody can see that, right? Of course, after you cut curly hair, guys, you have to style these curls. You have to make sure that the haircut is perfectly fine, but that's gonna happen after. That's when we cross-check. We cross-check after we style. That's when we see all the details. I also go deep in understanding what side of the curl you're looking at when you cut. It's so much information, guys, for 1 hour, but you know what? It's amazing that you guys are getting it. In the UK, how can I do your courses? You can do it online, beautiful. Go to my page on Instagram. I left it here, Leisa Hair and Makeup on Instagram. And the link on my bio, you can see all my education. I have one coming up, guys, that is round cutting and blonding next week. And I also do in person. So now we're gonna get in the corner and I'm gonna start bringing it up because I have to make sure, guys, that I leave a lot of length in here because that's what the ears, right? Then the clients are gonna end up having that mole and that extremely long. So you have to leave a lot of length around her ears. And I see that happen a lot. Look, I'm not cutting that much. You see that? Because I want that length to be right here. I don't want a hole over there, and we're not gonna like that. Okay, perfectly fine. Let's do this. Let's open up the curls. How this is looking, guys. How's this back? You can have beautiful and round. And now what I do normally, I just clean now or I clean after. After means when I style the hair. You cut curly hair, remember, clean hair, no products. So we have to wash the hair, put products, and then cross-check the haircut. Beautiful. I'm glad you like it. Let me just release the right side so you guys can see. Look at this. Look at how pretty this is. I want you to guys see. Everybody can see the one side of the head that is 100% cut. Look at how beautiful. And normally what I do I kind of spray a little bit the leave-in conditioner and I crunch and I just release. So those curls are kind of hydrate and move better. Because remember, hydration are gonna be the curl's best friend. But look at this. Are you guys loving it? Are you guys ready for some bands? Yes, yes. Thumbs up, hearts, if you're ready for me to cut the bands and learn a little bit more on how I approach the front. Please. Good? Are we good? Are we ready to cut the front? Okay, I'm gonna bring her a little higher up. Good job. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Okay, so now, what it would be the biggest tip and takeaway for you guys today? When you are using your fingers to brush and comb through the curls to cut, you're gonna expand them. You're gonna release those curls. Curls, when they have hydration product, they're gonna contract and they're gonna get looser and tighter. Do not ever cut bands too short, because then when you wet the hair and you put products, it's gonna be in here and she's gonna hate it. So the biggest tip and takeaway for you guys today is gonna be leave 3 and 4 inches longer the way you really want or she wants. And just tell your client, okay, you know what, I'm gonna leave it longer. It's gonna be on your eyes now, but I'm gonna style you, I'm gonna dry you, and you tell me if you want it to be shorter. And they're always gonna be, okay, okay. So that's what we do. And basically now, of course, after a consultation, after I finalize what we're gonna do, blah, 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 we decide that it's gonna be just right above her eyebrows. Just right above her eyebrows, just right there. But where am I gonna cut it? Below. Right on her eyes, we're gonna cut it, because you know what? It's gonna do this. It's gonna shrink up when it's wet and get some products in. Now, to cutting bands, once again, a one-on-one tool that we all have already in our pocket. We're gonna get on the higher point of the eyebrows, and we're gonna create a triangle. Center of the head, the corner of the eyebrow is gonna be one side of the triangle. And I'm gonna clip this away so we don't get confused. Remember, the halo starts right here, so I'm gonna involve that first section from my halo, that top section, with bands. They have to connect, guys, on curly hair in order to be round. If not, they're gonna be disconnected and you're gonna end up having the flat top that they came with that they don't like. Okay, so corner of the eyebrow. Oh my goodness, I don't want to do it without. I think this is good. Okie dokie. I think that this can go this way. Perfect. Maybe this is too much. It's so hard to do it with not getting in front of my clients. The other tip, guys, you have to get in front to do this. Because I'm not in front, I don't want to be bothering your vision or getting in your way. I'm like, ooh, ooh. But basically, this is what it is. So I'm going to grab that top and I'm going to create my triangle section. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get her a little bit diagonal this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. But on the reality, I'm going to be completely in front of my clients doing this. But of course, you won't see it, right? I'm not going to do that to you. Now, remember, we're going to go just right on her eyes. So I'm going to do a zigzag section that looks like this. It looks like this. Dum, ba-da-dum. It looks like this. Bum, ba-da-dum. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to go and get the guy that is going to be the first section. I'm going to use my fingers again, right? And I'm going to twist and twist and twist 4 times. And I'm just going to cut there. I know that it's a little bit of tension, but let's see how short that is. But that's exactly what we're looking for. Why do I like to twist? Look at that. Because I don't want to cut completely across and want to make that perfect straight line. You don't do that on curly hair. You want those curls to move really nice. And when we're talking about looser curls or wavy hair, when you go like this, tends to be extremely heavy. You know, it's dense. So when I twist and turn, I'm creating a different balance on my cut when I drop it. Perfect. So now I did this one 45, right? I'm gonna go the same thing on this corner, but I'm just gonna go this way. 45 this way. Turn, 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 turn 4 times. I'm gonna look. I say I want it on my eyes, so what I'm doing below that, so I get it on my eyes. Do you see that? How it went up? That's what happened in the real life if you go too short. So now I'm gonna basically open, because I want you guys to see it, the diversity of each individual curl. You see that? Look at how nice they look. They just like really spicy, really nice. Hurricane. Am I a hurricane? I bet I am. Okay. Go to the corner, 45, twist, twist, twist. And I'm gonna go on my eyes and I'm gonna basically cut. Everybody saw that, right? And then individually, maybe just giving some. But this is it. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. We like that dimension. Now, we're going to do another weaving. Or zigzag. I would say zigzag. Zigzag. Another zigzag section. Right? And we're going to continue only cutting like that. Why did I zigzag? Once again, because we want all the curls to move differently. We want all the curls to have different point of view when it comes with bends, so it's lighter and move bouncy, like this, it bounce. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up, 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 up on the direction of my cutting. So once again, I'm gonna get on the middle and I'm gonna go up. This is the guy right there, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna twist and I'm gonna get the guy do their own thing. Do you see the guy separate from us? This is it. I got the hair cut already. You don't have to worry about it, right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna involve the area that we already cut. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna twist. We let it go, whatever we already cut. And we're doing the same thing on the other corner. Twist. I don't care about what I already cut because we already cut that. And this is when you see those bands and that volume that connects with the top. How do you ensure that you want cut to short on the bands? That's exactly what I was just saying regarding that. You have to leave it 2, 3, or 4 inches longer than what you think. Because you know what? When you wet the hair, you apply products. Those curls are going to get juicy, hydrated, and they're going to shrink a little bit. So we decide for her that we want it above the eyebrows, right? So because I want it above the eyebrows, I'm not going to cut it like that right now. I'm going to cut it longer so you can tell I'm basically covering her eyes and her eyebrows. So when we wet this, we put product, she's going to go a little up like that. If that makes sense, always leave 2, 3 inches. You can always readjust that. You can always go back and clean it if that is bothering her or is on her eyes or too long. When it's too long, we're good. When it's too short, it's too late. Nice to see curly hair. Oh, short justice. Thank you. Of course. Can you use this technique on short curly hair? Yes. I love your energy. This is great job. Thank you so much, guys. And we're working now on the last section. What is the last section, guys? It's part of that halo. So we want to be able to see everything connected, right? So now I'm bringing that corner, that halo, and now what I'm going to do, this top was already cut already, right? So look at this. I'm going to release the side that we just cut with the bands. This back didn't get cut. So I'm going to just try to do this so you guys can see. Of course, you will always see this final look when you style the hair properly. But you can tell now that we're talking about a round, beautiful shape with bands. And voila, we got it, guys. We made it through. And now what we do, guys, personalize this. So now, if I want to connect a little bit the guide with bands, I do it. But basically, it's that look that you see that they're always asking for. So you see, I feel it's a little shorter, should be, and that's it. So now, this is your call. How you want these bands to fall with the side, or if you just want to leave it like that. It's between you and your client how you want this to go. I'm going to take some questions, guys. I think it's easy if I can just look at the camera to answer your question that if I try to talk, cut, and answer questions. Let's take a couple minutes of questions and we go from there. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Always the link on my bio, have all the information. I'm so good at answering DMs. If you want to be part of my education, please go ahead and DM me, ask me any question regarding what is happening. If you are looking for the best mannequin heads, Pivot Point has the best mannequin head, and also, guys, the best tripod. I just love this kind of tripod. It has a level. I can move it and move it around how I want it. I'm obsessed. I'm good with it. I love it. They also have like a little button that you can just spin it around. It's just so good. But let's answer some questions and we can go from there. Would you love to hear how you moisturize and style? Okay, so moisturizing is important. I think that's the life of the curls. You always have to make sure that you give them a good hydration, the way you shampoo. I recommend mask, I recommend leave-in conditioner, and you always, if this is a tip that you can take today, small sections. Apply the product until they disappear from your hands and your client's hair. That's when you're 100% sure that it penetrates. Please turn her so we can see the profile, of course.